If we did the number of licenses we have, so we have approximately 97 liquor licenses. That includes package stores, seasonals, annuals, and we have the largest seasonal population of liquor licenses in the state. If we did it per capita based on our year-round residency, we'd be in the top 10 as far as number of licenses. You figure the size of this island, there's 97 locations to get a drink at high season. That's a lot. That's a lot to manage. That has a lot of, consequences on a lot of ends.
Sure it does.
And on top of that, the request for pouring permits, you can do a one-day license if you're doing a special event, a fundraiser. The retail stores
Pouring
and the
is alcohol,
galleries.
you mean?
Alcohol. You're serving the public alcohol. You take on liability regardless, and you need a license to do so.
Right.
Is pretty much kind of out of control, and we're trying to deal with that.
I want to ask you about that. Did you guys pull the licensing for the openings, the art openings?
We didn't pull them. There's state law. You can't serve. I didn't pull them. What we did is comply with the law.
So there's no more alcohol at the
Oh, they can't. Oh, yeah, I get lots of requests for those.
Oh, you do?
Mm-hmm. It's a temporary, it's a one-day pouring permit. Basically, what I say to people is, look, it's the same as a liquor license. It's a one-day liquor license. You are inviting the public into your premises and serving them alcohol. That's a huge liability. You know what's going to happen is, are you trained? You have to be a trained person to serve any type of server is one of the requirements. You have to have liability insurance, and it has to be bought from a distributor based on the state. That's like a liquor license to do it. Someone comes in, they've been drinking at the beach all day long. They come in and have a drink at your place. Okay, they go out and they kill someone, they hurt someone, they have an accident. First thing the officer is going to say is, where's the last place you were? You're the last person that served them a drink. Mm-hmm. Guess what? You're liable for that.
I mean, there's no more fun anymore. It's like Manicasham.
Oh, I agree.
I miss Manicasham Jam.
Yes, I remember that. Well, I mean, we didn't have the social media issues then, and what brings up, but if you want AK Diamond.
Yeah, we could talk. Just tell us a little bit about it.
So that's just someone new coming in to run it. I don't think we're going to see a huge difference to the type of restaurant it is, but Diamonds were ready to move on, and so we have new folks coming in to take over the restaurant. They come in, they have to go through a whole new application process, which we require. You can transfer a license or get a new license, and they have to go through, health, building, if they make any changes, that sort of thing.
Yep.
The selectmen.
And what are they doing? They're doing something different, right?
Well, I don't know if they're actually doing. I mean, they're going to have the patio,
the patio.
that sort of thing.
But that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. That was approved. Patios have to be specifically approved.
I'm gonna have to turn around here.
So, yeah, I don't think.
Did you give a license for this?
No.
Oh, okay. This you don't do. Okay.
No. House Moves is Erica Mooney specifically.
Okay.
That she kind of works on that whole plan and all of that. So.
Man.
But yeah.
Wow, huh?
It's
what
amazing.
An island! What an island! How many of these do we do a year?
Oh God, all the time. I mean, it's got to be almost every week. It feels like in the winter. You think there'd be all the houses would be where they need to be? I don't know where they're going.
Yeah.
But that's a huge job she has to do, because between that and you have this winter with the closing of the streets and the sewer, and we deal with emergency management there too as well. So that was all going on this winter. And the streets closed, and then of course you had the truck route that was closed.
Right.
And it just, the management that goes into that.
And
with all the
you were there
closed.
Last night for the
National Grid.
The National Grid proposal.
I wasn't really aware of the extent of that.
Oh my goodness! This is just going to get. If people haven't heard, if it does happen.
Yeah, I believe. Well, the selectmen, they still have to approve.
We're going to have construction here for the next 2 or 3 years where roads are really.
Yeah, I think it frightens me that should the weather continue to develop the way it has been, and you have these projects going on. There was I felt like the island, in so many different ways, started screaming at us, "Stop!
I know.
You all need to stop."
Well, I think the election reflected that
too. Take a deep breath. And
people really do want it to slow down now.
I want my own job. I feel like I've been saying to everyone, no, we can live with what we have. I don't need new businesses. We don't need, what new businesses do we need? I get proposals every day.
What are we looking at right now?
Everyone wants something mobile. They want to sell retail mobile.
Yeah.
We've got this great, van, and we're going to sell on Main Street now.
Right.
We have regulations for that. And I said, if I were to even approve 25% of what comes into me, there wouldn't be room on the beaches to throw a towel down. People want to sell everything they want. They feel they have a right to, and
they really want mobile.
Mobile because rent is too expensive.
Oh, of course, right.
I mean, and I try to respect the fact that there's people paying huge rents, and I'm not going to throw a mobile unit downtown. I had someone come in last year. They were trying to sneak their way into a mobile unit that sold Italian shoes, and they said, "But we're selling gelato." I said, "No, you're not. You're trying to sneak in."
I'm going to be devil's advocate for a second.
Yeah.
Not that it's your responsibility to, but if you allow a few more mobile units and allow that a few of those people to compete with those higher priced
bring
rentals,
the prices down.
The landlord may have to drop the rent, because I'll tell you, those folks are having a tough time with.
Yes. I agree.
Especially with online shopping. And
I agree.
Hurting a lot of those retail businesses.
And there's a couple other areas I think I can work on.
Is that me or you?
God, I hope it's you.
Yeah, I turned it off, but it's going through my sink.
Yeah. I agree. The problem is, where do we stop it? People, just let a few.
Right, we do have a few though, right?
Or
there are a few.
Yes, mobile food units and things of that sort. What I don't want to do is muddy up the beaches with cheesy stuff. The beaches are open to the public, are available there. We have surf lessons and stuff, and it's a slippery slope.
Right.
And you asked me why I stay and all that, because it's certainly not. I mean, it's very difficult to live here. The cost of living is it's unmanageable almost at this point.
I know it.
It's a huge
you own
pay
your
cut.
house?
No, There's no way. There's no way. I used to own in Boston.
Right.
I sold, came out here, and it's pretty close to not being manageable anymore. And I hope people realize that middle class people like me are going to be cut out.
Well, we've got to find places for you that are reasonable.
So that's
the key.
The frustrating, but what kept me here originally was I know what it was like 30 years ago. I know why my family came here. I know this used to be my escape. And I'm all for evolution and for change, and I feel like we can preserve yet still evolve, preserve the traditions that we think are important, and we are so close to falling off that cliff. We've been on that edge, and I tell everyone Coney Island's on the other side. We're so close. We're so close. Right. I'm hanging on by my fingernails at this point. I mean, the kind of thing, maybe one selections meeting, I will come with all the proposals that don't see the light of day, and have people have some idea of what's out there and what people have tried to bring here.
Yeah, right.
It's, like the state tells me, the license is a privilege, not a right. There are steps to do it. There are, people who work hard for it, and it feels like people think there is a pot of gold in the middle of a field. They're going to come here for a couple months, stick their hand in that pot, and leave. They're not thinking through these business plans.
Yep.
They're not thinking through the liability. They're not thinking through the impact of the community.
Yep.
And that's where I have trouble. Is I know people who work really hard at that.
But how can you control that? You really can't. Are you going to tell somebody? Restaurants turn over all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. And
But they're always trying.
They are, but at this point now, anytime anything new comes in, I have them come in and we sit down and have a talk. And I talk to them about the history of the location, of all the things they need to go through. People have no idea. There's a lot of people who think, oh, wouldn't it be great to have a restaurant? It's so cool. I love going to Lola. I would love to have this.
Right.
It's on Nantucket. It can't lose. Oh, yes, it can. So I will sit down and have a very frank conversation with them. And for a lot of these folks, we meet 4 or 5 times before we even get to an application. We go through I talk about the different legal things that they need to consider, how that works, how the maintenance of it works, inspections, things they need to understand. It's multi-layered. The folks that are taking over AK Diamonds came in with one of the best applications ever. They had all of their T's crossed. They had all their ducks in a row. I feel good about that at all. But
had they had a restaurant here before?
They've both been in the restaurant industry,
but not here.
Yes, here, like
here.
working in it, not owning,
yeah.
but had an understanding of it. So that was great.
What's that going to be like anyway?
What's the restaurant going to be like?
Yeah, the old AKs.
I think it's going to be similar in feeling. I think they're going to update it and really, work on that patio and have that be more active out there too as well, which is great.
Good idea.
Hopefully brighten up the space a bit and, make it a little bit more active. And, it's good. It'll have fresh energy.
Yep. Bring some kids out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Place for kids.
It's good. We need to develop some of these mid-island.
What else is going on as far as licensing? Do we have something else that pops into you?
We don't have a lot. Last year we had a huge number of new folks entering the field. We had Lemon Press taking over the spot.
I was going to bring that up.
Yep, at 41 Main Street, which has seen some turnover the past several years. Sat and I've met with them many times. I really.
That's a tough. Why is that spot so tough?
There's several reasons. I might not get into all of them.
Oh well, I can. I know one. But
yes,
we won't talk about that.
Some things will get in the way. I really am rooting for these folks because what I miss on Main Street is like when even Keel left, and actually before that Espresso Cafe, I worked there in the 90s.
Oh God, that place was great.
I know half the people's coffee orders from 1992.
Giant coffee place that you could just hang out in if you wanted to get good food.
Takeout food. Yes,
that was awesome.
So they're going to offer
all the
some
characters
of that.
would go there.
Yes. Oh, I remember. I talked to John Shea now. I'm like, I still remember your coffee order from 92.
Oh, did you work in there?
I did, 1992.
Oh my gosh.
I was a dock girl in the day, and then I would work there on my off hours.
That's awesome.
And pretty sure I made more money that summer than I'm making now. It was great. It was good stuff. We got big tips down back in the day.
But what are we going to do without you? The cops, they love you over there.
Oh, I don't know about that, but they are. Can I say a nice thing about them?
Sure.
I certainly never expected to see myself in a police department, but it has been the most eye-opening thing ever. They are, and I love Chief. He's a wonderful, wonderful person to work with, and Deputy and all the folks there, but people have no idea what they deal with every day. These guys get beat up. They're meeting people on their worst possible day every day.
Right.
It's constant negativity. It's constant waiting for something bad to happen. And it's a really, really good group of people. And I cannot stress enough how hard they work. Their days off, they're having these details that they have to do. We have great training as far as mental health and understanding that with people and dealing with folks that way.
Yep. It's
just such an incredible group of people, and I take it very personally when people get down on them.
Right. Right.
I can't say enough.
Would you consider being a police officer at some point?
I probably if I were younger. I am way too old for that.
But you would recommend it?
Yeah, law enforcement.
You
I love the law.
saw a different aspect to it.
Absolutely. But I'll tell you, their lifespan, oh my God. I feel bad. They just get beat up.
I'll talk to you a little more.
Yeah, but
just park right here for a second.
They have been. I actually, even if I left the island, would consider working for another police department.
You would?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I love it. So that part of it has done great, and I would miss them terribly if I left.
So let's talk a little bit about some of the things that are coming up. Where do we begin?